The reinstated governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Fubara, has sacked all his appointees, his commissioners, his special advisors, all those other people that he appointed in his government. I don't know. Is it as a result of reconciliation? What do you think is the reason behind this sack?
To me, you should first of all assess the circumstances that surrounded Fubara reinstatement. First of all, since the beginning of his administration, he faced a lot of antagonism from his predecessor, Wike, who is the Minister of the
Federal Capital Territory.
So, this issue actually moved on until the president declared state of emergency in Rivers State. So what actually happened was that he endured everything, but before he was reinstated, they have a meeting, they have series of reconciliation meeting. So first of all, this issue I think should be part of the agreement in that reconciliation meeting. On the other hand, we are also thinking that the four commissioners which approved the appointment of these commissioners also trigger the agreement, that reinstatement that
okay. I now understand that these commissioners were appointed appointed by the governor, but we are approved by only four members of the House of Assembly. So he is trying to can we say reinvent the wheel now by bringing them back, so that by taking them off, so that now that the full house is together, then the full house should do their job as a full house. But do you think that all of these commissioners will come back?
No. Because before we have to do anything possible, there must be some background arrangement that, okay, now since reconciliation have fully taken place, we are going to give you this social number of commissioners, and then we will bring in social number of commissioners. That is how politics works.
But to me, yes, it's possible that Wike's faction too will come in and order. But do you think the problem between Wike and Fubara was actually about appointment? Was it not all about 2027?
It wasn't about appointment. The reconciliation brings a lot of things. Which appointment is in?
Which appointment is also, because I was looking at it from the perspective that now that Wike was not too sure that his successor was planning to work with the Atiku camp while he is in Tinubu camp, it is possible that they will move Rivers State into maybe the ADC as the case may be. Because he actually tried to pull such a trigger by moving his chairmanship candidates to a different political party to go and win the election there. So they didn't win under PDP. So I was looking at it that it's a possibility that at the end of the day, we push these other ones to a different political party and probably the ADC as the case may be, and then they will now be on one side, and the Wike and Tinubu and the APC will also be on the other side.
Whichever angle the situation be, they understand that their target is in 2027, which the structure you have on ground are the machineries that will pull powers into 2027. You understand? Yes. So the issue of appointment also is a paramount key in this regards, because if he has structures that are on ground and they are into the government, they are understanding the situation, how the Fubara is moving, they will understand better and then plan on the other side to move his own camp towards 2027.
Yes, I agree with you totally, because you don't just talk of structures that are powerless.
Yes.
You talk of structures based on people who have a say.
And resources.
In politics, when they say you have a say, having a say is different from having a voice.
Yes.
You can be talking from morning to evening, but you not be saying anything.
Yes.
But when somebody that has a say begins to talk, everybody will hear. So I strongly believe that giving appointments to people who will have a say in the Tinubu election, it will also be a very critical issue as far as this reconciliation is concerned. Now, Mr. Solomon, before you go, you are from Benue State. And in Benue State too, there has been this rumor of factions between the governor, factions between this person, faction between this. There are so many factions existing in the governor. In Benue State, I mean to say, in PDP, there were factions, and one of the factions now have moved to ADC, and they are alleging that the other faction is loyal to the APC. Now there is also in the APC itself, there is also the governor's faction, and they call them the stakeholders factions, which many people believe that it's being influenced by the secretary to the government of the federation and former governor of the state. Now, do you see these factions uniting ahead of 2027?
In case of Benue politics, if I can say reliably, every political party in Benue State have faction. If I can take it back as far back as 1983, where the Apera owns the governor in 1979, which their symbol was maize. They have faction, which the other faction they call it a black maize, while the other one was a white maize, which the white ones belong to the governor, and in the same political party, the black maize was opposing the governor. But as far as I understand, the faction of the governor remains superior, and he won in 1983 until the military truncated the government. So in PDP, also when PDP won the election in Benue State, they equally have faction, which was caucus and initiative. So the caucus was the old government that handed over to the new government. I am telling you, the present SGF was formed. The present SGF formed the base of the caucus, while the governor then took over from the SGF and has the initiative. So this is just a normal thing in Benue State. We understand Benue politics, and right now also I understand that the factions are real, not that they are it's just a rumors, but the faction of the governor still remain the superior faction in Benue State.
Because at least him is at the grassroots, he controls the chairman, the councillors, and most of the appointments that exist in the state. He has them, most of the stakeholders are under him, and as a result, definitely, if he knows how to play his card very well, his faction is supposed to be superior. There is this scenario whereby sometimes in the same government you see certain appointees not agreeing with other appointees. Now you will see a situation whereby those people appointed in the same government begin not to agree with each other. For instance, if you look at what happened in Akwa Ibom State, whereby the Commissioner of Finance pulled out and told the governor that he was not going with him to the APC, and he resigned and dumped the job and left. Now, it was alleged that he was on his own. But now that the same commissioner now, his posters are flying all over that he wants to contest for governor, it's being suspected that most people who are in the government with the governor now are now going behind to go and support him. So does this issue of structure actually matter in terms of appointments?
Politics, as you know, is a game of interest. In politics, everybody have his own interest. So sometimes it's conflicts of interest that brings about issue of appointees fighting themselves and not any other thing. Maybe I am appointed a commissioner and you are my co-commissioner in the same government. So, and it so happens that we are from a particular federal constituency and may be eyeing for a particular seat at the federal level, which I knew very well you also lost the interest. So disagreement now comes in. That is where the black politics come in, where I will be looking for issues to tarnish your image, to make the public there feels that you are not qualified for that particular thing, or bringing in some setups that will make our superior to understand that you are a negative type to pull you down, so that I will have access and protect my name towards what we are targeting. That is the reason why we witness a lot of issues and disagreement coming in the same camp from appointees.
So in a nutshell, you are telling us that as far as politics is concerned, this issue of factions will not end.
It will not end. It's a normal thing in politics.